They're powering up again. They're gonna fire their laser into the sky this time.
Hi, this is the Professional Amateur Hour coming to you with another review. This time we're talking Alien Conquest. This is a 2021 film directed by Mario Bonasson and stars Emily Killian, Tom Sizemore, D'Angelo Davis, among others. So the story of this one is that these alien spaceships come from Mars and they start attacking Earth. And all of Earth forces seem to have no effect on these alien ships and tripods. So it's up to this pair of scientists, I think they're like brother and sister in the movie. And so it's up to them to try to figure out a way to hurt the aliens so that the human forces can combat them. What will happen exactly? You'll have to watch the movie and find out. All right, so what works with this film? Well, this is an asylum film and they do rip-offs of bigger budget movies, and this is the same case. It's a rip-off of War of the Worlds, and I think there's like a Tom Cruise adaptation too. And so it's just the same story as that. However, they do kind of modernize it with more kind of updated UFO, or not UFO, UAP kind of ideas about how UAPs work. And so is it like gravitational forces or light forces, or what is it that's like propelling these things? And so I did kind of like the Technobabble that they threw in there, but overall, yeah, it's just essentially a ripoff of War of the Worlds, which, you know, I like that movie, but I've seen that movie. So I gotta come back to the Technobabble. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's kind of like in Star Trek or in Star Wars where they're just talking about their machines, but with like gibberish words. Like, oh, this is the Aeon Flux shield, or this is the Kyber crystal meth or something. And so if you still don't know, I'll try to clip some in for you.
Okay, look, I ran an initial profile of the data you sent. Looks like their hulls appear to be made of a calcium iron carbon alloy. It's interacting with some kind of biological matter.
And I thought it was all pretty good. I think it is, again, updated for kind of UAP type of stuff where, you know, we don't know how these machines are flying and what they can do or why they're doing it. And so I thought it was pretty good and had like a good quality of Technobabble. So for my personal enjoyment, that did improve it. And lastly, I did chuckle a few times, but only a few times with like how bad it was. You know, with certain good, bad movies, you're always laughing at it. This one, there's only a few chuckles here or there, which did, you know, improve its viewing quality for sure. But there weren't too many of those things. It was a lot of like Technobabble in the way. And so, yeah, there are a few chuckles if that's what you're looking for. All right, so what didn't work with this film? Well, it is an asylum film and they're known for their films being, you know, people sitting in rooms. Sometimes it works, but this one, it certainly does not. They're always just like typing on their computer and talking nonsense, or they have their walkie-talkie and they're talking nonsense as well. Like, oh, did you get the NaCl or whatever? It's just all people talking nonsense. You don't really understand what they're talking about. And I know I talked about the Technobabble being good, but you really don't understand it. And there's just way, way too much of it. With this type of movie, you should be outside, right? You've seen War of the Worlds, that's, you know, action filled, but this one is just people in rooms talking. They do sometimes go to the forest, but it's not a lot. Oh, and furthermore, there is a little bit of CGI in this, and I only want to say a little bit because it'll be on the screen for like, you know, 5 to 10 seconds, and then it will be people's faces reacting to what's happening in front of them. Instead of just showing the action, you're always just watching people watch the action.
They're splitting apart right now, you see? They're about to attack.
I don't get it. Their weapons are not even affecting them.
They will. We have more coming in.
Or if it's not that, it's like someone's watching the action on their phone, and then you're watching them watch their phone.
The first ship to land just joined the other 9. I'm so scared, I don't know what to tell you.
And that is not how you do action, I gotta say. It really deflates any kind of tension because you never see what's going on. And when you do see it, it looks fine, but you know it's not for long. So that would definitely take away from some of these enjoyment of this movie. As with regards to the acting, I thought the acting was very lackluster. There might have been one person, maybe D'Angelo, was really putting his heart into it, but the rest were clearly just saying lines, especially the general. The general, you know, he's supposed to be like the top guy in the US military, but he just comes off as someone who doesn't care about anything, who really doesn't care about command and just wants to go home. And so he's just kind of like saying silly orders as well. And so definitely like that also brings it down too. Oh, and lastly, you'll never believe this, but while they're out in the forest, they run into a plane, and it's the same plane from another Asylum film, Airliner Sky Battle. Is this the same universe, or are they just reusing assets? Who knows? Leave us a comment telling us your theory down below. And that brings us to who I would recommend this movie for. Well, I think if you're into Technobabble about UFOs or UAPs, then definitely you can get some enjoyment out of this. If you're not that person, then probably stay away from this one. As for a rating, I'm going to give it a risky score of 2. And having said that, I think that's all I wanted to say, so I will see you next time.